Hi everyone, welcome back to my weekly meal plan episode. If you're new here, each week I share with you my family's meal plan for the upcoming week. There was a blog post that goes along with this episode on my website at lolasfrugallife.com where you can find links to any recipes that I mention in this week's meal plan along with the full meal plan for the week. I do this as part of my Frugal Living podcast, just kind of like as a little extra, just to kind of help anyone that might need some motivation or ideas for some meals to put on their meal plan for the week. I use a really simple meal rotation to create my meal plans each week. I do not always have to have new recipes. Sometimes I do, but at least 4 days of the week, I pretty much rotate certain recipes on a regular basis, like every 2 weeks or every week, or like a certain theme every week. So I just think that it's more important to have something as a plan to eat for dinner than to always have things new, at least at this point in my life. It just makes it a lot easier for me. So anyway, this week's meal plan starts on Saturday, May 13th. So Saturday, we're going to be doing bacon and spinach pasta with Parmesan. And this actually does happen to be a new recipe. I forget where I found this one, but anyway, I probably saw it on Instagram because I think I follow Budget Bites on Instagram, I think. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's from budgetbites.com. That's budgetbytes.com. And this looks to be like a pretty simple pasta dish with, it's made with like bacon, onion, chicken broth, pasta, and fresh spinach and Parmesan. So we're going to do that for Saturday. For Sunday, I'm doing chicken franchise, which is from dinneratthezoo.com. This is a pretty easy homemade chicken franchise recipe that I've been kind of making a little bit more frequently now. I found it probably about a month or so ago, maybe 2, and I really like it, so I've kind of been making it as part of my regular meals every once in a while. For Monday, we're doing steak. I do that every 4 weeks on Monday. And for the steak, I'm doing ribeye steak. All I do is take a ribeye steak and I marinate it in a Ziploc bag with some olive oil and red wine vinegar and some Montreal steak seasoning. And then I will either cook it in the air fryer or throw it on the grill. I used to always broil it, but after having the broiler at least once or twice actually catch on fire, and then other times almost catch on fire from the fat popping from the steak to the flames, I don't really broil steak anymore. Especially like ribeye, because maybe it's higher fat content, I'm not sure, but anyway, I do it in the air fryer right now, but as it gets nicer out, I'll be doing it on the grill. And then as a side, we're going to do cheesy instant pot rice and vegetables, which is from the saltymarshmallow.com. This is a recipe where you basically just take rice and mixed vegetables and I think chicken broth and water, and you cook it in the instant pot, and then you add shredded cheese when it's done and just kind of mix it all together. So I think that goes pretty good with the steak, and it's kind of like an all-in-one side dish. It's got the vegetables and the rice and everything, so it's makes for a pretty easy meal. For Tuesday, we're going to be doing tacos. We do some type of Mexican theme meal every Tuesday. This week it's tacos, so I don't really have a recipe to share for that, but it's just your typical we cook up some meat. I'm actually going to start doing ground beef. I was doing ground chicken for a really long time, but one of my kids asked if I could do it with ground beef instead because she thought she'd like it better, and I asked everyone else and they thought that sounded good. So either way, whatever type of meat you use, I just cook it up and season with some seasoned salt and chili powder. And then, I put out some hard taco shells, some soft flour tortillas, sour cream, avocado, shredded cheese, and there's lettuce, tomato, whatever toppings you like. So that's another nice simple meal for Tuesday. For Wednesday, I'm going to be doing easy shrimp scampi, which is from spendwithpennies.com. This is another one that I've kind of added into my Wednesday seafood night rotation. Pretty much we always do like shrimp or salmon for Wednesday for the seafood. So this week we're going to be doing that again. And then I'll just cook up some linguine and toss it with some like olive oil and butter and serve that with the shrimp scampi either on the side or you can put it right on top, however you like to have it. For Thursday, we do breakfast for dinner or soup and grilled cheese. This week we're doing breakfast for dinner. So I'm doing tater tot breakfast casserole from saltysidedish.com. So this, you basically just put I think you put the sausage, I forget how you do it exactly, but you put sausage and tater tots, and then you whip up some eggs, whisk up some eggs with heavy cream, or I think you could do milk. And then you put frozen tater tots. I forget the order, but it's all in the recipe, and you basically bake it like a casserole. So we're going to do that for our breakfast for dinner on Thursday. And then the last meal of this week's meal plan is for Friday, May 19th, and we're going to be doing chicken cutlets, which that one I don't have a recipe specifically to share. I just take chicken breast, slice it thin, and dip it in egg and breadcrumb and fry it up. I make that every once in a while. And then for a side, we're going to do pasta with tomatoes, basil, and garlic, which is from cupofjoe.com. This is pasta with cherry tomatoes and basil and olive oil. It's a pretty simple dish, but I really like it a lot. I make it in the summer, usually so that I can use up some basil that I've grown. But I don't actually have any of that yet. It's too early, but I'll just purchase some basil from the store. So that we'll make that for Friday. So that's it for this week's meal plan. I hope this gave you some ideas or maybe inspired you to put your meal plan together. Like I said, you can find this meal plan on my website at lolasfrugallife.com, along with links to any recipes that I mentioned on today's episode. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you back here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at lolasfrugallife. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.